Hey y'all, how's it going? Hope everything's okay. Happy Friday. It is a Friday. Today was a day. It was a day. And I finally, for the first time today, about that. I named this video Boundaries. I don't know why. I didn't, there's something that's been stuck in my head today. I want to talk about some other stuff. And I have a special guest. Hopefully, we'll go live a little bit later. We're going to talk about relationship goals and boundaries. But I definitely want to talk about boundaries and willpower and inspiration and motivation. You know, uh, hey, Sassy, good evening, babe. I'm having my first chuck of the day, and it is well needed. I have had a rough day and a hell of an evening. But I want to say this. We are taught boundaries from an early age, small kids. We know what stop means, don't touch, leave that alone, and we eventually comprehend what we can and cannot do, where we can and cannot go, what we can and cannot touch. Boundaries were set for us as children, and as children, we learned boundaries. And then as we grew up and got older, we set boundaries or should have set boundaries. I know if you had kids, you set boundaries with your kids, what they could and couldn't do, could and couldn't go, could and couldn't say, whoop de whoop. You set boundaries. But have you set any boundaries for yourself, for your individual pleasure, right? Are there things that you will and will not allow your boss to say to you, your preacher, your teacher, your classmate, your best friend, your cousin, your sister, your niece? Or do you have boundaries? Are there certain things they can and can't say? Can and can't do to you, with you, in front of you, around you? For instance, you can't smoke in my house. It's not allowed. It don't matter what it is, it's not allowed in the house. Right? We can go sit on the porch, we can go in the backyard, we can go sit in the car, we can go wherever you want, you just can't do it here. I will not accept my boss yelling at me whether I did something right or wrong. And I might can't say nothing right then when it happens because things don't always come out right when you heat it. So you gotta wait a minute and calm down, get yourself together, get your mind right. But at some point, you gonna have to tell them you didn't like that shit, you didn't appreciate it. When we find somebody that we want to be with and we decide that we want to call them our boyfriend, we set boundaries, right? You tell them all, nigga, I'm the listen. I can't be your girlfriend unless I'm the only person that you dating. You ain't gonna be calling me your girlfriend, but you out there sleeping with Helen, Tracy, Lisa, and Tatiana. No, sir. It's gonna have to just be me and me only. And if you cheat, we gonna break up. Yeah, we set those type of boundaries. But what will you accept from that other person? Can your sister, cousins, other auntie, brother, friend, uncles, daddies, grandpa cuss in front of you, for instance? Would you allow somebody to treat you unfairly, not be just, not be equally yoked, as the old folks would say back in the day? Hmm. How do you determine what boundaries you want to set and what boundaries you will allow to be broken. How do you make that determination? Do you just settle and accept it? You talk shit to the left, talk shit to the right, but you never address it head on. You just deal with it, and it is what it is. How does that work? Because I can tell you, I've lived a lifetime and I've experienced a lot of different boundaries, conflicts, contradicts, etc., etc. But I guess in the process of waking up, I started to identify a lot more. Because I tell you one thing, all this shit that we going through down here today, and listen, some people can say, well, you had a choice, you didn't have a choice. Okay, they voted him in. Some voted for him, some didn't. It don't matter. But what we're going through definitely should push us closer to God. I know I do a lot of praying. I even went and got a new Bible because my Bible was so old and tore up, pages all wrinkled and shit. But you know what? I about they got tired. I about they got tired. I'm tired of stressing. I'm tired of running in circles. I'm tired of a whole bunch of stuff. hmm And the biggest shit I'm tired of, I can't even do nothing about. I can't change it. Can't change it. Just pray every day and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because if you give a person too many inches, they'll take a yard. If you let your boss come at you wrong, be disrespectful, be smart mouth in the meeting and all this shit to you, then it'll cause him. That means he or she doesn't have respect for you, and that could pass on and carry on to the next person. That somebody else don't respect you because they looking at you and wondering why you ain't slapped him in his left nut because of how he said what he said. You know how he did what he did. You know that's all we can do is pray. That's true, Sassy. That's true. When your brother do some stupid shit, but then as soon as he do the stupid shit, you try to say something. He grown and he this and he that, but then next week he come calling you to borrow some money. Nigga, don't call me. And you my sister. We supposed to have each other back. I tried to have your back last week. I didn't ask you for nothing. No, you didn't, but you needed my help. I tried to help you. Shit, you cussed me out, so I ain't got no money this week. I ain't gonna have none next week. It ain't looking too good for the week after that either. So now what? We ain't brothers and sisters no more. What? So we got the same daddy. That's undeniable. Shit, we look just like. So now what? What do you tell your sister when you catch her or find out she messing with your man? What how do you react to that? Cause see the one thing about boundaries, they're different for friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Like my sister might be able to say some shit or do some shit. It'll piss me off. But if we got company or we somewhere in public, I won't pop off and make a scene. But nigga, when we get to the house, I'ma let you have it. Whereas my good Judy or a friend or a coworker or an acquaintance or whatever do some shit and where she did it, that's where it goes. It's going down, right? But you know what? I done got to the age. Well, this is a revelation I had many moons ago, but it's definitely concrete in law now. And that is I don't want to keep arguing and fighting over where you been and why you didn't come home till 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning. I don't want to argue with you about where I been, why I ain't came home for 2 days. I don't. I don't want to answer no questions. I don't want to explain nothing. I don't want to argue about it. If you got questions, I'll see if I can answer them. But I don't want to be arguing and fighting and shit. And of course, if you put your hands on me, that is certainly a boundary deal breaker, sir. There, all bets is off. So, I'm at that place where I'm happier by myself than in a relationship that, again, is unequally yoked. Because you got expectations you want me to honor, but you ain't honoring mine. We're not on the same page. If you my sister, I don't care mama's side, daddy's side, uncle's side, or the dog Teddy the dog side. If you my sister, I better not catch you with my man. I listen, I better not catch you. I better not find out nothing. That's you crossed the boundary. You crossed the line with that. And we blood. So you absolutely fucking correct. That's a boundary that I'm not willing to cross, break, or accept anything less. My standard is I will not accept anything less than what I expect because what I expect is what I give. And whether it's family, friend, cousins, or the neighborhood cat, I want us to be equally yoked. I do for you, you do for me. I got your back, you got my back. But it's certain lines you can't cross. And if you cross too many of them, then hell, you done made an X more than once. I read, I understand, the spirit speaks to me. I get more understanding. I research what I hear, something told to me. I want to put more effort into being a better person than putting in all of the effort for doing things that are not normal for me to do in order to maintain any type of relationship, familyship, situationship, friendship, acquaintanceship, co-workership, teammateship, any of it. Because when I love hard. When I'm loyal to a T. If I got you, I got you. It ain't talking, it's just what I do. See, I can show you better than I can tell you. And a lot of us have heard that saying before. Every day I watch people on the internet that don't have boundaries. Like, for instance, the black lady and the black guy on Facebook, they was husband and wife. And he took her soul on live. Of course, you can't see that on Facebook because the screen cuts out. They edited to cut the rest of it off. I definitely watched all that I could see on the video, but I've not seen an unedited version. Her and that man was fist fighting at times. They would get in the whole knockdown drag outs. That was an everyday thing for them. Are you kidding me? You are okay with the man putting his hands on you? Baby, I love you. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna do it no more. That's good enough for you. And then you give him another chance, and then you end up giving him another chance and another. When does it stop? When does it stop? I seen a article today. A little girl having a sleepover, invited some of her friends. Couldn't be me. The one person that put his hands on me, when I tell you I shot at him and I couldn't get him, he was running and I was running trying to catch him, and then I was like, "Bitch, you the one got the thing, pop!" And it was a wrap. We went on and got all that wrapped up and closed up, and we went on our separate ways. We cool, but I don't fuck with you like that. But today I saw the article about the little black girl had a sleepover, invited some of her little classmates, her little friends. It was probably one, maybe two black girls. It probably was about eight of the little girls. See, three, six, yeah, about eight or nine little girls. I think it might have been one, maybe two black girls. The rest of them were little Caucasian girls. They was all laughing and cute, and it was a themed sleepover, and they were all dressed in. It looked like a pink, almost like a pink lavender, almost like a ombre type of thing. But it was cute. It was more pink. They had the little basement and everything decorated pink, and they had put the pallets and everything down so everybody had somewhere to sleep, and they was having a good time. They ate, drank, danced, and they was little girls, and the little girl, she looked like she might have been, I don't know, mm, about nine, 8 or 9, maybe 10, maybe. Um, at the end of the day, long story short, cut to the end, all of the guests are no longer with us. Everybody laid down together. Nobody got up. So devastated. People, the money poured in, therapy and all the things, psychologists, psychiatrists, and trying to get a young child over such a massive fatality. Every single guest was gone. She was the only one left standing. Why? Well, because all of the girls slept in the basement, and when I grew up, if I went to a sleepover, wherever we were sleeping, we was all sleeping together. But in this case, the guests were the only ones in the basement, and the little girl was upstairs in her room. So the coroner said, well, it was that carbon monoxide got them. It was a leak, and they went to sleep, and they stayed asleep. They didn't make it upstairs, right? So fast forward, she's 17, 7 years later. She's 17 years old. They done reopened the case. Now I keep saying I'm gonna do this, but I haven't done it yet. But I need to hurry up and get that Freedom of Information Act. I need to hurry up and get that little permit or whatever so that I can start getting this shit straight out the police department. So that when I come, I can come with all of the receipts. But it don't say why the case was reopened. It don't say what happened, right? But then later, it's telling the story of how they found this girl's journal from 7 years ago. And in the journal, she had written about all of the different ways she had researched on the internet on how to help them to get gone. You hear me? I like to say the word before I know that I can't say the MUR word. I can't say the KI. I can't. But she did that, nigga. They reopened the case. They got the warrants, and they went back down in that damn basement, and bitch, they found shit taped up, boarded up, glued up, covered up, stuck up, stopped up, closed up, locked up, nigga. She took no prisoners. They got that bitch. When she went to court, They said she was looking around like shit. I'm ready to go. What y'all waiting on? And when I played the little 5 second clip, that bitch was looking like I'm bored as fuck. Let's go. What happened to that little girl? What happened in her life at such a young age, 9, 10 years old? Probably ain't even had her first cycle. She probably ain't got no hair growing nowhere but on her head. What happened? Did they make fun of you? Because I thought these was your friends. This is who came for the sleepover, right? What happened to make you commit such a heinous crime? That was just what I read in the thing today. But hell, y'all know 4, 5, 6 years ago, I'm in the underground looking at the shit. What happened to y'all? What happened with your boundaries? What happened that you out here doing what y'all doing to these kids? And y'all got kids. So did y'all take y'all kids to the baby oil party, or how you money? All y'all doing that for money? Okay. My uncle told me as a teenager, money don't buy happiness. I believe him too. Because baby, right now I've been saying for years, and my sister can attest to this. If and when God just so happened to bless me to hit the lottery or come across a large sum of money, I'm paying all my bills off. Then I'm gonna put my college fund up for my grandbabies, and I'm gonna get my kids a house. Well, one gonna get a house, one gonna get money, and then we're gonna take a trip somewhere. Me and one of my sisters, we're gonna take a trip. We may invite some other people. We may not, depend on how much I got the whole thing laid out. But at the end of the day, what boundaries will I set? Because here's the thing. If I go on that camera and show my face, now everybody know exactly who to chase after with the money. Everybody in my family now. You don't remember me? You don't remember me? If you go on there with a mask and you stay incognito so nobody don't really know who it is that won the money, you almost can't share it with nobody because somebody else gonna get mad. Now you got a whole bigger problem because everybody owe you something. They owe you something. Whatever the reason is, they owe you something, and you feel some kind of way about it. You gonna make sure the whole world know about it. So, what boundaries do you set then? Do you try to share and spread among your family? Look at Glorilla and Brorilla. Do you try to share with your whole family that you grew up and were close to you? Not everybody in the family, obviously you can't take care of everybody in the family, but people that you grew up with as kids, y'all came up in the same school neighborhood, y'all spent the night on weekends and went to church together, you went all that shit. And the people close to your heart. What are the boundaries that you set? Because if you tell one, you can't really tell none of them, don't tell nobody else, because that'll be the topic of the next tabletop conversation. It's girl, she got that money, girl. She took us over to Rome, bitch. We went to Africa. Bitch, we got off the plane and got on the boat. They gonna tell it all. Scammers after you. Bill collectors want to see if they can get you back to do some more business after they harassed you and then paid them off. Now they know you got to, here they come. What boundaries do you set? Do you keep it low key and look out for you and your family? Do you just take your immediate family and try to keep it in that little circle and y'all go do something and you help them out? Or do you just do for yourself, take a little trip, take them and come on back and call it a day? And act like you ain't hit for that. Oh girl, I didn't hit nothing for 20,000. That's all I got for. But come on, we're gonna take this trip. Something that you can say you spent half of it. Well, I paid all my bills, so let's go. And then they said, well, she ain't got no more. She done spent it all. And then it's dead and over, and you could just slowly take care of yourself. Most people, they're gonna jump up and go get a new car. Then they gonna jump up and they gonna get a big trash can of herb, and they gonna be going around smoking, drinking, kicking it, throwing change, gambling, throwing money, slinging, buying, trading, doing all the things. You know what I'm saying? Now we gonna go fly over here. We gonna flounce. We going to get. We're gonna fuck that money off before we even pay bills. A lot of people. I'm too old to do that. It ain't nothing I want to floss and flaunt. So I would be paying bills first. And then I would go get a financial consultant. What are your boundaries? What do you do? What will you accept no matter how it may affect you, how you may run out of money before what are your boundaries? Because we went from sugar to shit. And then I just read, it was breaking news when I read it. I want to say it was yesterday. They said we about to get into it and go into a whole fight with Iran. Hmm. 2 years ago, I didn't know we was fighting. I knew Ukraine was. I didn't know we was over there nowhere fighting until my family members started coming home. Uh, yeah, they was bringing them home. I said, wait a minute. I thought, wait, what do you mean? What happened to her? Shot? Well, who? Fighting? What? Well, who is we fighting? I didn't even know we was at war. We was fighting. Or what they told me you can be fighting and not be at war. I said, oh, really? Huh? I didn't know. On the streets and in the sheets, nigga. If you fighting, you fighting. Y'all at war. The only difference is some fights end up worse than others. That's all. But okay, I hear you. Just cause you okay, so who was we fighting? To this day, 3 years later, I still don't know who we was fighting that day over. So was you one of them secret seal people? What are your boundaries? Because at one point you had a choice to go to the military, and if you chose to go, now you have said this is what I want to do, and I don't give a fuck how it affect nobody else, like it or not. That's your business. This is my body, myself, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. What boundaries do you set? Do you accept that and you hang on anyway and pray and hope for the best? Or do you draw a line and say, let's just keep the relationship as is? That way I don't have to be worried about you cheating and doing nothing else over there. And then, I got to do, what, what are your boundaries? Because if you don't set boundaries for adults the same way you set boundaries for kids, then your gate is wide open. You're susceptible to disease and everything unimaginable that boundaries are set to protect you from. We go through shit and some of us learn from it. Some don't. Some choose not to. Some just ain't don't know no better. They could be going through something they don't even see it as they going through something. I grew up with a girl. I thought they had a lot of money. They daddy made good money. They mama worked too, so they was medium income people. They had a little change. They kept Nike and shit on. But as we got closer, I found out this bitch was going shopping every other day, buying shit, wearing it to work, and then taking it back and getting her money back. Wait, you got that big of a facade you trying to present to the world that you're something that you like, or what? So then you would be attracted to a man that does the same thing you do. So then when you find out he ain't got no money, is you mad? Because you the one chose to be attracted to somebody that was equal to you, but you ain't really what you say you are. You just faking the front. So then what happens? You find out he ain't making it, and now, y'all can't really do what y'all was doing at first because now he done ran out of money. His money getting low. Now he got to pay bills. He got to try, and then he still got to try to keep up the facade. And what, what do you do? Because when you keep up that facade, it leads to bigger things like what? When certain people start seeing you out there and you start getting invited to places and to come do things and invited to go eat, drink, smoke, do whatever you're going to do to certain places. Some places may be at a private facility where no money is needed. Some places at a private facility where everything you pay for. You pay for valet, you pay for every drink. The goddamn drinks is $25 a shot and 50 for a regular like it's big money. Now I try not to go nowhere and don't have a little money in my pocket for myself. But as soon as I identify this money is bigger than the money in my pocket, then I had to tell my friend, girl, I got to go, child. I am out of pocket. I'll call you tomorrow and I'm out. I can stop by the liquor store and get something and be drunk by the time I get home for less than all of that, what they trying to do. But it's because of the facade that got you into the mix in the first place. Remember? Because of how you look. You was attracted to somebody like you and other people was attracted to you. You're living a facade while others are living it real, but now you done met a nigga with the same facade as you just don't know yet. But then when you find out, what are your boundaries, what do you do? How do you act or react? Because if you're not looking to the future on how it's going to affect you later on, then what are you doing? Before you get in the car, you done planned where you got to go, where you gonna go, which way you probably gonna go to get there. So why wouldn't you do the rest of your life the same way? And here's the thing. Boundaries or not, at what point do you decide to make a change? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because, see, I would rather a person tell me the truth or ask me to initiate the conversation that may be painful to me. It could be a painful conversation, but I would rather you have that painful conversation or ask that painful question or say what's on your motherfucking mind than to be playing games or me hear or find out that you've had that conversation with somebody else and it was repeated in front of me and they didn't even know that I was the person they was talking about. I wouldn't want that. I would rather you be real. But that's my preference. There are some people that would rather you be say nice things and uplift them and always appease what they want to hear and you be quiet on what's real and what's true. And when it was brought to me, I said, that's kind of difficult because I feel like you're asking me to be somebody I'm not. I feel like you asking me to be fake. You know me, you know who I am, you know how I am, and like you, me, and many others, we all fall short. But we accept if we really care about each other, we really cool like that. We accept each other's good and bads, they faults and they differences, and we work around it. We maneuver around it. No big deal. But if you can't even understand the bottom line, that means you're not willing to. You don't want to hear it. You don't give a damn. It is what it is. And so I we're gonna do a live. I don't know if it'll be tonight, tomorrow, when it's gonna be. We're gonna do a live on relationships, and I'm gonna have a guest on here, and we're gonna be chopping it up. Now we really want to do it on X because I'm not really sure how deep or how far we're gonna go. I want to do it on X where we can talk freely. But it definitely the idea of relationships and goals. When I was making an outline, I was just kind of writing down things that I want, I look for and thing, and I got thinking about, what, this all equates to boundaries. And so I wanted to talk about boundaries because, see, again, we learn boundaries as young kids. Don't touch that. No, no. Tap, tap on the ass. We find out I can't touch that. She gonna get me. I'm not supposed to go in there. She gonna get me. Those are boundaries. Mama done said no, that means no. When we have kids, we set boundaries. Mama said no, mama said yes, no. Boundaries. When did you give up your boundaries? When do you give up your boundaries? Do you give up your boundaries? Do you set boundaries? When will you break your boundary? Because when I think about boundaries, I presented one. When I think about boundaries, and again as an adult, I think about a relationship. When your girlfriend, boyfriend, I have to tell your ass that I don't want to be with somebody that's got a lot of girlfriends. If it's just gonna be me and you, then yeah, we can be girlfriend, boyfriend. If you got a lot of other girls that you're sleeping with, then we can just hang out, whenever we want to get together and spend some time and bump. We can do that, you spend a little money and we bump and then we go ahead on about our business. And that way it ain't no arguing, but you're speaking the boundary. And of course, once you marry somebody, that's an unspoken rule because you said you had that in your vows. You set a boundary. So if you don't have any boundaries when you step into something, is it not a free fall to the bottom? It's a never ending, a bottomless pit. So make sure you set boundaries. And whatever you set, be free to stand behind them. If it's not something that you want to stand behind, that's cool. You don't have to stand behind it. But as mama say, don't cry wolf when the sheep turn around and bite you. Don't cry, because if you can acknowledge and accept, you can never change. Saying that you understand, you acknowledge, you accept, that's talk. Because see, when a nigga acknowledge and accept, they make a change. Because they're like, oh, now I see what this nigga doing. This nigga playing games. He wanna woo 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 woo. Okay, cool. Then fuck it, we just go our separate ways. I'm gonna go over here and tip over here and let him tip over. Whatever it is, whatever the consequence is, if you don't set boundaries, you are stepping into a bottomless pit because you're open to anything. And it could be something from childhood trauma, it could be something from adult trauma, it could just be it is what it is. And to each his own. Everybody has control and decision over their own life. But if I could let a motherfucker, get a motherfucker, anybody to understand, if you do not set boundaries, what do you expect in life? Because my expectation was to be independent. I want to get out here. I want to make my own money. I couldn't go to school back then. It took me to get grown. Now, my kids got grown before I went to school, but I want to make my own money. I want to pay my own bills. I want to be able to do da 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 da. I want to make sure, I have money saved up, savings plan saved up, for when I get old and retire, to be able to help my kids. I want to have something to leave for them, and I don't want them to have to do and struggle and go through what I went through. I don't want them to have to try to learn the way I learned. I want them to have it easy. But if you don't have a savings, if you don't have a long history of employment, if you don't have um, all of this stuff, then what are you planning to do in 10 years? Where do you plan to be? What do you expect to have in 10 years? Boundaries are almost like goals. And I remember in high school, they used to have us to write down what where you wanted to be in 5 years. What do you want to have accomplished? And then see if you can meet that goal. Sure, I was a bad well, I was a bad motherfucker writing them goals, but I only accomplished a few of them. I haven't accomplished half of them because they said write five, I wrote 10, because some of them didn't really fill in all the blanks, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you don't have goals to look forward to and strive from, if you don't have boundaries, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I've seen so much. I've seen so many relationships go bad on the Instagram Live, the Facebook Live. I've seen videos, police videos, movies, a lot of stuff where people get in an emotional roller coaster and the shit gets so bad that they do something that they probably thought they would never do. And it's unfortunate. But let me get on up off here. I had to get on here and get that off my chest. So I will talk to y'all later. I'm gonna go ahead and get some water and figure out what I'm gonna do because I done got bored now. I'm ready. All right, baby. Talk to y'all later.